Is at the far end, gentlemen.
What's up?
How are you today? All
I
right,
am
don't-
tired but good.
All right,
You know, it took me all week to recover from last weekend.
but it was a good weekend to recover from, wasn't it?
Oh my God. I laughed so hard. I had such a great time. We met good people,
Absolutely,
great fans, made some new fans, made some new friends.
absolutely.
And that's what it's about.
I'll tell you what, it was such a great experience. I can't wait till Scott and company do it again. And I don't know, rumor has it maybe sometime towards the end of the year, he may be doing another one. So let me say this to everybody. First of all, join us on the show by calling us 702-992-3207, 702-992-3207. I can guarantee, well, I should take that words back. It worked yesterday on Kiwanis Connects.
Wait,
Turn it behind me. So let's hope that it'll continue working today. So we need someone to try it out for us. If you're listening, either way,
Let me flip a bill and make
flip
sure,
makes you put a quarter in the slot.
make sure it
All
works.
right, there you go.
Yeah, it works.
Wind it up.
Okay.
Wind it up, crank it up. Thank you for watching here. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you so much. Of course, you can also catch us on the WWDB TV channel on YouTube. Are we on TC on YouTube? I don't know. We're on so many channels. I can't remember. Good morning, Ronald. We're on Thoughts Count Anywhere on YouTube as well. You can call us. We got the chat rooms working. We're on www.dbtv.com website. And if you're on the go, if you're bound about, don't watch us and drive, but you can still hear us by downloading WWDB-TV to your Android or WWDB-TV LV to your iPhone. And if you miss it all, if you have Roku, make sure you download the WWDB-TV channel and catch our faces among all the other shows that are there as well. All right.
The Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
No, ignore that. That shouldn't be corporation. That's old. John told me yesterday that sign's old.
Well, I'm
Change.
old. So I'm
But
old.
the WWDB is right.
There you go.
I'm old too, so I made a mistake. It's Worldwide Digital Broadcasting.
TV.
TV.
There you go. There you go. All right.
can do it.
WWDB TV.
Try to do that with like the UW.
And I even got my false teeth.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I want to commend you for last week. Your teeth stayed in the entire show.
Yes.
I'm very happy, but thank you for that.
Yes.
Of course, Liz was in the room too, and I'm sure that maybe played a little role. Keep it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I hit it on the head there, sir?
Yeah. You know. I mean, even when I was giving you a hard time, I heard you call her a couple times.
Because I love her.
She's going to rope me in. Man.
I did.
You know that.
By the way, though, I do want to send out another quick thank you to Power Play Sports Collectibles, Scott and company, and all the volunteers, which we are part of that family to help the events that Scott puts on. And of course, all the folks at Impact Wrestling who also were very heavily involved in the show, their card show, along with their own pay-per-view and TV tapings. And I'm so glad to say that I had Tommy Dreamer and Heath both don my red jacket over the weekend. Heath wanted to wear it to the ring. I was trying to get him to do that.
Hey, I forgot to tell you a story. Last week when Thomas and I were at the table. So Mr. Dirty walks by.
Oh, yes.
And he walks by. And he didn't say nothing. And I heard I said, Mr. Dirty. And he turns around. He says, Chief, is that you? I said, absolutely. He walks over. We must have talked, a good 10 minutes. And he said to me, I would love to come on the broadcast again.
Excellent. Excellent. I
So,
also said hello to
There
him.
you go.
Everybody was cordial. I did an interview with Diana Perazzo and Aaron Zauer. Unfortunately,
Our Jersey girl.
absolutely. Unfortunately, everybody, I want to let you know that the live shows that we did last week, we had a terrible issue. Fonzie's listening to us at the gym. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. The Wi-Fi, we were all set up. We had great Wi-Fi, but inside, when you're deep in the middle of those ballrooms in the casino, they still wreak havoc with the Wi-Fi and the sound and the buffering. So unfortunately, those videos will not be uploaded. They're on our Facebook page just for, as we like to say, shits and giggles, but they will not be uploaded to Roku because the quality of the audio. Good morning, Jennifer out in Hawaii. Cody asks, does she have to wrestle you for the belt that we have here on the stand? That's what he would like to know.
You could. If you think you can, come on down, buddy. I'll drop the elbow.
There
on
you go.
Just like Johnny Valentine.
Just make sure you have your life alert on.
That's
Yeah.
Don't
Wait a
call
minute.
Bruno.
Let me check.
That's right. Wait. That's right.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on. It's a beeping.
It's beeping.
Anyway, so thank you to everybody
Good to
again.
go.
We had a great time. Absolutely. Possible sponsors that I chatted with,
Yes.
but more importantly,
Yes.
we had the opportunity to interview the great D'Lo Brown on the show. We had Josh Alexander on the show.
Yes.
As I mentioned, I had Deanna Parazzo on my show because there was a schedule conflict with Santino Morella, but I did see him and he did autograph the sock.
Nice.
Had the Impact refs on.
Oh, I did. Yeah, that's right. We had the Impact
I
ref
had
on.
him embarrassed to get them on, but they came on.
They came
finally.
on.
Yeah,
And
and,
the-
then they had then after further on down in the day, they come up to Chief. That's the best time we had so far. I said, "See, I told you. All
That's
you
it.
got to do is come on with us." I said, "I get a little crazy and have fun."
Absolutely.
I said, "The guys reel me in. They know what to do."
And I had an opportunity to chat with Alicia, who was the ref, Alicia,
Yes.
who was the ref at the pay-per-view for Giselle's match. And we were talking about all the hair transplants.
Man, she I told her, but did you take, you didn't go to the show Saturday night?
I did not, sir.
Giselle had pigtails.
Oh, boy.
Because when I went over to see JAI
Yeah.
and her,
Right.
I whispered into her, I says, "Your hair fell out a lot Friday night." I said, "Maybe you need to do something else with your hair." And so
what you did?
Saturday night she come out, she had pigtails. Not one stitch of hair fell out. Not one.
That's good.
So
That's good. But anyway, it was a great time last week. Again, stay tuned for more news for upcoming shows. Power Play Sports Collectibles, card, and toy and memorabilia shows. A great turnout. Thank you to everybody that came, the vendors. More importantly, the public that came out and supported the vendors that were there.
Yeah.
did you realize Kenny King wrestled Las Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
JAI Las Vegas,
Chris Bay,
Chris Bay,
who just won a title, I
who just
saw, right?
won the tag team title
Mhm.
with Ace Austin,
Right?
Las Vegas. So Las Vegas was in the house in the wrestling ring at Impact Wrestling.
Absolutely. So it was a great showing as well. All right. How was your week since we last met? Are you recovered from the show? I mean, you work a ton anyway, so your body's probably used to working like 20 hours a day.
I crashed so hard on Monday that I caught up all my sleep. I got off work at 4:30. I was asleep by 5:30, trying to watch Raw, and I woke up at 11 and was like, put my covers
Guess I
on
go
and went
back.
to sleep. But now I'm good.
Good.
Just dealing with knuckleheads.
Well, we can't wait to hear
I
what
got
you
a
got lined up
couple
for us.
good stories.
Excellent.
For
So we
stories.
have excellent stories. And overall, since we last saw you, how was your week this week? Anything
You
exciting?
know what? I had a good week.
Good.
No, I was busy over the weekend,
Right.
as you guys know, and it took me a day or two to recover.
Mhm.
But overall, it was just a great weekend. Met some great, like I said, met great
Yeah.
people there. We had great fans there,
Absolutely.
and
And hopefully we garnered some new fans.
and totally agree. And again, shout out to Scott, Power Play Sports. and Collectibles.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And also, let's give a nod to our producer, John, who could not do anything with the Wi-Fi. That was not his issue. But John did a great job here at WWDB TV, getting everything ready, set up. And from what we saw on the inside, everything was normal. Of course, we were getting messages that the Wi-Fi, the sound and buffering, but that's not anything John
Nope.
was controls. It's just the setup of the Wi-Fi in that building. For those of you who will know this, we were ready to go an hour ahead of time. Everything was set up, done. We were all able to relax. We had no issues. And at 9:00, he said, go. Everything was on and ready. So it was a great experience all around. So thank you to John at WWDB TV. And if you need anything regarding video, graphics, whatever, pictures, whatever, this is a great studio to be in. Call
Hookers
John.
and blow.
What's that?
Hookers and blow.
Well, that's after hours, folks. 702-992-3207. Call that number when there's no show on and talk to John about what he can do for you and your business. All right, let's get to it. It is that time. It is time for
Story time with Matt.
what he said.
And now here is your storytelling host, Matt Mullen. the Mr. Rogers of the Fremont Street neighborhood. Take it away, Matt. What's happening in the neighborhood?
Some of these people wish I was the Mr. Rogers of Fremont Street. But yesterday, I get a call from Denny's, and they were like, "Hey, this guy's messing with our computer, and he won't leave." And I was like, "What?" I was on the second floor, so I ran down over there, hit the door. This guy was trying to grab like the computer from the front with their cash register. And he saw me. He tried to like get to the kitchen. I tackled him through the door. He tried fighting me for like a second, and I had my taser on his back, and I was like, "You make one more goddamn move, you're getting electrocuted."
You're gonna have a
I was like, "I'm
shocking-
gonna tase the shit out of you."
You have a shocking experience.
Don't
at
take
Denny's.
me, bro.
All of a sudden, his hands went behind his back real quick.
Yeah.
And then after Metro came and all that, he ended up getting a different kind of breakfast at
Bologna
the
on white
Clark
bread.
County Detention
There
Center.
you go. Bologna on white bread. Is that what they say?
Yeah, probably.
3 hots and a cot.
There you go.
I don't remember what it was like during the week, but I tell you guys last week about the car chase in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was.
Was there any follow up to that you know of? I mean, some of these instances that you're involved in, I know Metro takes them away and they do their thing. Can you have a follow up on anything? What happens with any of these people? I mean, obviously they go to jail.
You know,
Usually, if I like have to deal with it, usually I end up having to testify in court later.
that's the,
So that's usually when I find out stuff.
We should add what is it? SUV. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
that's what I was going to ask you. Do you have to go into court sometimes to testify against DJU?
Make sure
down
next
there?
time you go in, wear a TCA shirt or something with you.
It's always funny, like when you walk into the courtroom, because the defense attorneys will be like, "Oh crap, the witness showed up. Take the plea deal now."
That's right. They probably rely on you not showing up to drop it down. Well, that's cool. The guy in the garage, that was the most interesting video that I've seen in a long time,
That
trying
was-
to get out of there. So
That was something.
Trying to do donuts.
yeah, and
Just go to Krispy Kreme like Chief does every Saturday morning.
that's right. By the way, we want to send out a thank you to Charlton Heston for participating in the
Yes.
segment intro there. We want to thank him. He looked good for a guy who's dead, right? Right, Charlton Heston's dead, isn't he? He
Yeah,
died a couple of years ago.
yeah, we had to pry the gun from its cold.
That's right. That's right. By the way, every once in a while, folks, you may hear John's voice in the background. He is the voice of what goes on behind here. And you know what? We can't keep him bottled up all that much. Every once in a while, we'll hear him pop in. All right, let's get started with a couple of rumors before we go to our first break. Rumor is that Brock was saying goodbyes at Raw, thinking that he's wrapped up his time in WWE. Is this really worth a go away match with Omos? Isn't there something better if it's his quote unquote last match? And question I put up on our page this week, is Vince McMahon's hands all over this match, as a lot of people believe that it looks like it's a Vince McMahon style match? So, gentlemen, your thoughts on that match regarding Brock?
No, Vince always likes big men in the ring. But my thought is, if Omos beats Brock Lesnar,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to have to give Omos one hell of a push, because I personally don't think he gets over that much in the ring. He does, he's an Andre the Giant. He picks him up, slams him.
Yep.
That's basically it. He can't wrestle. He can't go. So if in fact it is a Vince McMahon, which it possibly could be,
Right.
is the company going in the wrong direction again?
Matt.
I don't really want to see that match. I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be real clunky, and it might be my bathroom break, honestly. But if they're really gonna try to push Omos, I guess that's the way to do it, because he's been going against either handicap matches
Right,
or something,
right.
and this is like his first real big feud,
Well,
like
didn't he have a match
solo.
with Lashley at a pay-per-view?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like Saudi.
Right. So I mean, he's faced a big guy, but I hear
He's
what you're
faced
saying.
like bigger guys,
Right.
but
Right. No, I exactly hear what you're saying. But don't forget, he was in the tag with AJ Styles, and he faced a different level of opponents as a tag champ, maybe.
True.
But I hear what I like that
But
thought.
the question is if he beats Brock, in my mind, that means he's going to have to go up against Gunther.
Almost?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. For the
For the belt, for the,
For the
internet,
belt. All
okay,
right.
that thing,
right.
intercontinental.
But I think Gunther will beat him because to me, it's going to come down. My thought is if Cody beats Roman at WrestleMania,
Mm-hmm.
Gunther it's going to be Gunther and Cody
Okay.
next.
For the,
After that,
for the
belt,
title.
for the
Okay.
belt. If Gunther drops the belt to Omos,
Mm-hmm.
which in reality, that's a Vince McMahon moment.
Okay.
Okay. That's the only way I see him pushing Omos.
People are thinking about this might be Brock's last match, so to speak. But if you would think if he's quote unquote retiring, and again, I put all this in air quotes because as we all know, we never say never, no matter how many times, people say retirement, there would be a better match for him to go out on than Omos. And I agree, he's clunky. Is he worthy of an IC belt? I don't know. Look, he learned a lot, I would presume, with AJ when he had the tag titles.
Yeah.
But like you said, Matt, he's very clunky. He only has a couple power moves, and that's it. And is that the way you want to build? You want to send Brock off? I see it on the other side. It's a hell of a push for him. But then the question is, where do you go with this guy? Is he worthy of the IC belt? I don't think so. There's other contenders way ahead of him that all showed up in the ring last night on SmackDown talking about the IC belt. So how does Omos get pushed ahead of all those guys to even think about going for the Intercontinental belt?
I would much rather see Drew and Brock. If it is Brock's last match,
Okay.
I would love to see Drew and Brock.
Okay.
That to me, that wouldn't be a potty break match.
If Brock was gonna put anybody over as his last match, I don't want to see Karrion Kross versus Brock Lesnar.
I was just thinking of Cross.
Because that would shoot Kross to the next level.
I didn't want to say that. I'm glad you said it.
Well, Ronald puts in there, first of all, a good friend Ronald, he believes that Vince has his hand on this one as a send-off to Brock. But again, is it really a great send-off? We're not sure. Brock and Bobby would be a better send-off for Brock, according to Ronald. And I don't disagree with that. I think if it's officially a last match, which we don't know that it is, there's got to be a better opponent. For instance, when Angle retired, right? His last match, right? Was Corbin really the best? Right. I mean, we all agreed that Cena should have been the one in there with him on that last match. He was Cena's first match on the main roster.
Yeah.
That would have been the proper send-off for Angle. But Corbin, and look where Corbin is today. That didn't do anything for him. But we shall see what happens. All right, let's do our second rumor real quickly before we go to break. Rumor is WWE hasn't discussed the 2023 Hall of Fame inductees as of yet. And we want to remind WWE, you only have about 4 weeks left. You have only about 30 days. Batista is making a case to get on this year's ballot, so to speak, because it was the pandemic year when he was named. But I'm surprised that they haven't. Maybe they'll start naming this Monday.
Maybe. Usually they started around like Royal Rumble every year. Would at least name at least a couple people. We usually had most of the list by Elimination Chamber, so it's kind of weird. They haven't announced nothing.
Right. Could it be only one person gets inducted, and that would be VKM, Vincent Kennedy McMahon?
Could be.
I mean, who's going to?
The only people that are worthy of one person Hall of Fame is The Rock and Vince.
Yeah,
the only ones left.
Yeah. It'd be
but like Chief
interesting.
said last week, D'Lo Brown for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely. We should start a movement. Hashtag D'Lo Brown, WWE Hall of Fame. Something like that. D'Lo Hall
And
of Fame.
Demolition.
Oh,
Put them in
yes.
Hall of Fame in
You know
the same
what?
class.
Damn,
Great
I
idea. You know what?
forgot that.
That's great. Let's put in the chat room. Here's your conversation for the day. Who is not in the WWE Hall of Fame that you think should be? We've thrown out two names that we've discussed for at least 2 years.
Yep.
Demolition and D'Lo Brown are on that list for sure. put it in the chat room. We'd love to share, or call in with your thought as to who should be in the WWE Hall. I got another one, Owen Hart. All right, with that, we're going to step aside for our first break of the day. We thank you for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere, where we help you talk about the world of wrestling. We'll be right back.
Thoughts Count Anywhere. Y'all watching it. This is my new tag team partner, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, aka Marty the Mob, and you're watching the Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Enjoy.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Simple Fatu. I'm here with my man, Big Chief. I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere. This is Impact Wrestling's Dash and Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Hi, I'm Sean Navarre. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah! This is the Essential Character EC3 on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere. The podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition.
Hey, we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning, Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Tessa Blanchard and Ozzy, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. We appreciate you making us part of your Saturday. That's what it's about. World of pro wrestling is heavy and often from week to week, and we have so much to talk about. To that last commercial bit, I think we're going to have John put a little something there into the demolition piece to help us.
Right.
And we actually have a demo. Hey, I got you. The floor will recognize you in a second. We actually have a promo from D-Lo that we're going to hopefully air next week. I think we should do the same thing on that. We might as well take advantage of it, right? The floor recognizes Chief.
Hey, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to do a shout out for Mr. Ronald Young. 1 week away, March the 10th, Winter Haven, Florida. Thunder Championship Wrestling at Tanner's Lakeside in Winter Haven. Fans, go out there, support independent wrestling. Tonight at the FSW Arena, Future Stars of Wrestling. Bell time, 7 o'clock. Be there.
There you go. And of course, why?
Because the chief says so.
There you go. Go out there and support Ronald Young's company, because he is the future agent of Aaron's Hour if Thomas keeps screwing like he does.
The Savannah Bananas.
Still working on that. Anyway, I do want to say, obviously Thomas is not with us this morning. He's off today taking care of some other family matters and working or whatever. So we miss you in studio, and we'll look forward to have you back in next week. All right.
If somebody can throw a rotisserie chicken at Thomas and get it on video, I will buy you a TCH.
Aisle 7. Clean up. Aisle
Please
7.
Thank you.
That's right. Ronald says, should referees be in the Hall of Fame? That's a great question. Should referees be in the WWE? I know one that won't get in. Earl Hebner. He probably won't get in.
I would say if there's one that should go into a Hall of Fame, not necessarily WWE, but Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, would be Tommy Young.
Okay, I just wrote down Mike Chioda's name.
Mike Chioda.
How about now? You can do what you want with this comment. Back in the day when Bruno wrestled,
yes,
before everything went crazy,
yes.
There was one elder statesman referee. I could see his face, but I can't come up with his name. But he was always on the TV shows. He was, somebody help me out. I know somebody out there. If you pull up some of the older footage,
drawing a blank
from the, let's say late 70s to the early 80s, that was primarily in many of the championship matches. I could see him. I just can't come up with his name. But
big heavy set guy.
No, he was a small guy. He was probably built like a brick house. He had arms, I remember. Very, very straight, hard body. But
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. Thunder Championship Wrestling for Ronald. Down. Is that the one that you announced?
That's what I announced.
There you go. But anyway, I'm sure somebody. But it's a great question, though. The referees,
like I said,
Tim White.
Tim White's another one. Tim White, yeah.
Should there be a separate wing for referees? Maybe.
I give you want another good one?
Sure.
Our friend.
Which one?
My friend down in Texas.
Such a good friend. He has to look up the name.
He's gonna go to Google to look up the name.
The 3/4 kicked in.
Well, while you look that up, let's continue on. Let's go to AEW stuff, because then when we come back from break after the rant, we'll go into the predictions. So we'll flow with AEW for the next couple of minutes. Does that sound good, guys?
Yeah.
Excellent. So AEW video game gets a possible release date of March 31st, but they've been trying to get this game out for quite some time, though, haven't they, Matt?
Yeah, they have. They've been dealing with rating issues. They wanted to, because they had so much blood and stuff in the game, they were trying to rate it like
PG
for mature audiences, basically.
Okay.
But now they got it to the lesser one, so more people can play it. So now that they can, the game's been done for a while, but now they got the rating they want, they can finally put it out.
All right. That makes sense.
Mr. James Beard.
Oh, James Beard. Yeah, that's a good one. So that'll be coming out. And again, as I said, that's got a release date of March 30. For any idea as to what the price is going to be on that?
Usually like $70.
$70. All right. We'll see how they do with that. Reports say Vicky Guerrero, our friend, will leave AEW when her contract expires in July. Kind of shocked by that, but then again, we haven't really seen her on TV much.
True.
She started out with Nyla Rose, managing and working with them, but I haven't seen Nyla Rose on TV much often lately anyway. So wonder what's happening there.
I don't know, but I really wish her contract was up now, because her in the middle of the Dominic and Rey Mysterio thing would be epic leading into WrestleMania.
Oh my gosh.
But she's not going to be available until July if she even wants to go back to WWE. But we'll see.
Speaking of that storyline, can we go to it for?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just wondering what really is going to play out with prison boy Dominic last night spitting on the mask. That's the disgrace. Here's my thought. Dom's mom is going to get involved. That's another good one.
Danny Davis is, but that's not who I'm thinking of. He's the one that took over OVW at one point.
Yes,
which was the development at the time for
WWE. But here's my thought. With Dom doing what he did last night, I think, and you said it, with Vicky not being able to come back, Dom's mom's going to get involved. Okay, his real mom. Now, whether it's with Mama or not, Dom's going to do something to his mother. Okay, because Ray's got Dom in the business.
Right.
Okay, let's face it.
What about the daughter?
No.
No, you don't think the daughter would get involved?
No.
Aaliyah, whatever.
Mother.
Is that Aaliyah?
Aaliyah, yeah.
Mother.
No, I know you're talking about.
And then I see Ray just beating the holy shit out of Dominic for pushing her or something.
It's his mom.
His mom, exactly.
Right.
And Ray's not going to tolerate. Or the other side is Mommy's going to get involved with Dom's real mom.
Okay, so Ray against the real mom. Okay.
And
but we're not talking match. We're just talking about like putting hands on. That's really what we're talking about.
Yeah. And then that's going to cause the stir where Ray's going to get in between, supersede, and then he's going to beat the shit out of Dom. That's the two scenarios I see.
So what happens with Dominic? Let's say he does get his ass kicked and Ray goes off into the sunset or whatever the next is. What do you do with Dominic then at that point? Because now remember, Ray is going up for a singles title, right? She's going up for a singles title. Dominic just got his ass kicked by his dad, theoretically, based on what you're laying out. What do you do with Dominic from a creative standpoint at that point? Does Judgment Day kick him out?
I don't know. I think it's going to play out differently, though.
Okay. What's your thoughts on it?
I think Ray's going to hold off of I'm not going to touch my son. I'm not going to touch my son. and there's going to be a segment where the mom and daughter come out with Ray. Ray's not going to get, or Dominic's not going to hit his mother. He'll probably like get in her face or something, and Leo will probably try to stop him, and he will get physical with his sister because she's young enough to take bumps, and she wants to wrestle, so they'll probably work something out. The sister's going to end up taking some kind of like move. Ray's going to come out and be like, oh my God, you just hit your sister. I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania. But Dominic's going to win at WrestleMania to basically Ray to pass the torch to Dominic. And if that's how he rides in the sunset, he's going to lose to Dominic for sure. Dude.
Especially if you want to put Dominic over.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, I think Ray's 51.
Somewhere around there.
And you know that might be, you know, the thing I miss about when wrestlers retire today, the one tradition I wish all of them would have kept was leaving their boots in the ring.
The old timers do. The more veterans do. I mean, who was the last one to do that? We saw Undertaker did it too, didn't he?
Yeah, Undertaker did. Triple H did it.
That's right. He did it recently.
And to me, there are some things that need
to continue.
Mm-hmm. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Wiping of the feet before you get into a ring would be pretty good too. Like that's a tradition, right?
I took notice that, and I watched it. Impact. Kenny,
right?
Jay, and Chris,
right?
All wiped their feet. Every one of them.
All right, we are going to go to the Chiefs rant here momentarily. I want to bring up one other comment that's here on the list, and that is the phone is ringing.
Hotline.
Ooh, let's see. Yes, Commissioner. Thank you. All right, we're going to see who this is, but we want to get to Chiefs rant.
If you want to talk on the phone, you got to turn that noise off in the background.
Yeah, that's a great point. If you're going to call us, please make sure that whatever device you're listening or watching to is turned off volume-wise because we get the terrible feedback coming in. So, we ready to go there, Mr. Producer?
Oh, today?
Yeah, right now. Today. Jeez. Caller, thank you for calling. Who's this, please? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Florida.
All right. Is this Ronald?
Yes, it is.
Ronald, buddy, how are you?
I'm doing great.
I should actually properly introduce you as my future agent if Thomas doesn't step up anymore. But also, too, Ronald's the man getting us connected with the Savannah Bananas.
That'd be cool. Those tickets are so popular in Vegas that you have to win like a ticket lottery to even like get a chance to
Sean
go.
Hyde won that.
Hyde won.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So, Ronald, what's going on in Florida, sir?
Oh, not much.
So tell us about what's going on with Thunder Championship Wrestling down there real quickly.
Next, actually, this Sunday coming up, we have a show. It's supposed to be a big two-man tag match. It's going to be awesome. Then in April, we're doing we're going to be at a tour convention doing a couple shows on Saturday and a Sunday on that day. But yeah, we got the show coming up Friday. It's going to be awesome. There's always awesome wrestling going on there. Like she said, get out and support local wrestling, man. I mean, to me, there's nothing better than indie wrestling. I've been to Raw, I've been to all that. None of that compares to indie wrestling.
Ronald, why do you think, and you guys can answer, we're all big supporters of indie wrestling, but I want Ronald to go first on this. Ronald, why do you believe indie wrestling is so much better than what we see on TV? I mean, I have my answer in my head, but why do you believe it since you're in it down there all the time?
It's just the atmosphere is different. It's a different atmosphere. They're not there to make money. They're there to get people hooked on coming back to the next show.
Okay. Probably more heart and passions into it in the indie level because you're trying to work harder. You may want to get on TV, but it's a closer knit, like Ronald was talking about, right? I mean, that's kind of why I think indie wrestling works so well, is because they're a lot closer, more passionate to the craft of wrestling.
And I think part of it is too that the indie wrestlers that we've gotten to know, and while I'm thinking of Ron, say hi to Gary for me, will you, buddy? I appreciate it.
Yes, I will.
I think part of it is we get to see them growing
Right.
and developing
Up close and personal.
And when they do get to that stage,
right,
we're sitting here saying, well, we know them.
Right. And we talk about that like you did earlier in the show, that those who came through our local indies.
Absolutely.
Ronald, quick question for you. On the website, which you shared with us at thunderchampionshipwrestlingflorida.com, do you guys have swag there?
I believe they do. I haven't actually been to the website to check it out. I'm 99% sure that they do.
Okay.
I know that they have like all the events that's coming up and all that on there. So I'm pretty sure they do. If not, they do have merchandise at the event.
All right.
If you need some, let me know. I'll hook you out with them.
Well, I was going to say, you and I will talk offline, and maybe we'll discuss about getting a couple of shirts, 3 shirts, 4 shirts for us up here from your local guys as well.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, brother. We're going to let you go, my friend. Thank you for calling in. Always good to chat with you, and stay on top of the Savannah Bananas.
Yes, always.
Hey, one last thing. You need to call back when Thomas is here, so the two of you can
have at it.
Have at it.
Match.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do is we'll block out a 15-minute segment.
I'll give the Chiefs rant up that day.
I'm Team Ronald.
All right, Ronald. Thank you, sir. We appreciate all that you do for TCA and supporting us, man. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Thank you. All right, Ronald. He broke our phone charity.
There we go.
We know the phone worked.
Gig.
Excellent. It was a little lower than we experienced yesterday, but that's okay. It was fine. We were able to hear him, and he was able to hear us. So thank you very much. So again, folks, the line's working. All right. Did we stall long enough for you to think of a rant? All right. We know Chiefs got something. So with that, it's time to swing on over to the time that everybody loves to hear, the 3 minutes of Chiefs time. It is called the Chiefs Rant.
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations. Set material conditions Zebra throughout the ship. Make Zebra report to DC Central.
Because the chief says so. Hey, good morning, folks. It is the Chief with the Chiefs rant. My 3 minutes of fame is now 2:58. And John, I'm going to shout it out right now. John, thank you very much for developing that. I'm just in awe.
Can we start calling you Popeye now?
Sure. You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. Anyway, here in Las Vegas this week, I'm going to make it short and sweet because we got a big-ass run sheet to talk about, plus 2 weeks' worth of birthdays. Anyway, we got NASCAR out at the Speedway. Started Thursday night with the haulers going down Las Vegas Boulevard. Last night there was a 200-mile. Today there's a 300-mile. Tomorrow it caps off with the 400-mile race out at the Speedway. Also today, up in Summerlin, Major League Baseball is out here. Can you believe it? It's
Las Vegas Aviators.
actually starting at the Aviators ballpark today. Major League Baseball. Then tomorrow we've got hockey at the arena also. Montreal versus our Golden Knights, who are on a 2-game win streak. Played an awesome game last night. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see.
I know Brandy was there.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys got to see any clips from the Devils and the Golden Knights last night, but they won. Golden Knights won in overtime, 4-3.
And they made a big trade this week too, didn't they?
They got a goalie. Awesome picture. I don't know if you're going to see, go on Facebook, you might see it. Our new goaltender that we got from the Columbus Blue Jackets via
Jonathan Quick?
Yeah, via the LA Kings, I believe, is where he came from. Out there hugging the goaltender last night. he may not be the best in the business at his age now, but I'm going to tell you what, we gained a lot of experience with that gentleman. He brings 2 championship rings to the team. That experience with the young goalkeeper and the team itself, that's invaluable. So y'all can say what you want. I really don't care. I'm glad we picked him up. And now if we can get rid of the snake guy, we'll be in better shape. Other than that, that's the Chiefs rant this week. So everybody have a good week. That's the Chief, over and out.
Excellent. You know what? And I'm glad you highlighted all of that. As we've talked about for many years, Vegas is becoming really a sports mecca.
Yeah.
And you didn't even touch upon the fact that in a couple of weeks, the NCAA tournament will be making its debut here in Las Vegas as well.
We've got the West Coast Conference here. We've got the Mountain West is starting.
But there are actual rounds of the national tournament that'll be in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. And then we got the NIT coming in, I believe. We'll be playing out here.
We get as many people for the tournament here, and none of the except for this year, that we get in here for New Year's.
It's
for NASCAR weekend.
It's unbelievable.
But now they'll have the games here as well. So imagine how many more people will come in now that we actually have the games here.
I'm wondering that you might know that new sphere that they built down there.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could put a court in there that they could play basketball in there also.
Probably.
Well, it's not designed for that. But no, it's not.
Okay.
Theoretically,
All
it's
right.
designed for basically a concert venue for the most part. Maybe they can at some point, but as of right now, that's why I think they're going to use Allegiant Stadium, right? I believe for the tournament.
I think
Makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, rather than putting 70,000 people maybe in Allegiant versus 15,000 I think they have for the Sphere.
I mean, I don't.
But
yeah.
but it's a beautiful building, the Sphere. Wait till that opens up. U2 is supposedly the first band that's going to break in the Sphere later on this year.
And then we got 340 some days, and then we're going to get the Super Bowl out here.
Yeah.
That's coming.
And Formula One.
Formula One. They're doing Formula One stuff now in town.
Hey,
$10,000 a night.
Hey,
at MGM.
WWE, wake up. When the hell are you going to bring the biggest of them all on the stage to Las Vegas? Give us our just due. We want WrestleMania.
I think we're going to get WrestleMania 41, honestly.
That'd be great.
Because WrestleMania 40 is already in Philadelphia.
Right.
So
it seems like they're trying to rotate coast also. So that would be great. I mean,
but I heard too that they're talking about going back overseas for one. So, and hey, that would be okay. Take it to London.
Yeah.
They're
they're doing Money in the Bank at Saudi Arabia, right?
Well, they're doing it at the O2.
Right. I'm sorry, in London. So they are taking some of the pay-per-views overseas. I would really doubt. Well, I should never doubt. Would WrestleMania ever be held overseas somewhere?
Why not?
No, I'm just asking. What do you think?
Yeah.
I wonder how much the Saudi Arabian prince would have to pay to have WrestleMania.
Well, if he buys the company, then it should be built in.
He ain't buying the company. He is not.
Leave it to one of the hosts. That's not Chief.
It's not me this time. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
That was good. I like. What was that? Bad.
Bad Boys.
Yeah,
Bad Boys.
Bad
Well,
Boys.
what else would you want
I
from
like
him on
that.
that? For what he does. I mean,
Bad
come on,
Boy, bad.
nothing up. But I mean, if they do go overseas, I think London, Wembley Stadium, or whatever, or wherever they had the last one.
They would have to do it in like one of the big soccer stadiums.
Right. Well, where did they just have the one that the Castle where Drew McIntyre we all thought he was going to win? That was that was where? That wasn't in London though, was it?
It was like right. It was
what everybody thought it was his home, right?
Yeah.
But something like that where they were, like you said, like a
Yeah.
soccer stadium to hold that potential would be the right place. So absolutely, it has to. You got to figure it's got to hold at least. Be prepared to hold 100,000 people.
The only one that comes to my mind is Crystal Palace, and it's not Crystal Palace. It's Manchester United, Trafalgar, where they play. I believe it's Trafalgar where they play. I think they can hold 90,000.
Okay, I mean, so you have to be prepared for close to 100,000 people for WrestleMania, even though it's going to be spread over 2 nights. But if they go over there, I think that would make sense. We're trying to be international, right?
Absolutely.
Which is why they do the shows overseas as well. So, all right, we're going to step aside here for our second break of the hour.
No shit.
Can you believe it? Am I giving you enough time to get ready there, Mr. Producer?
Wait a minute. 3, 2, 1, go.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Wales inside.
And we're back.
And we're back. Thank you,
And we're
Ronald.
back.
He corrected us about where Clash of the Castle was, and that was in Wales. That's where it was.
Isn't Cardiff?
Cardiff, Wales.
Save the whales.
Save the whales.
That's
Anyway,
it.
thank you, Ronald. We knew you were on top of it. We have to then also call you historian number 2, I guess. We'll have to have our own tag team since Thomas is not here to correct us.
Cardiff, Wales. That's where it
So
was at.
anyway, welcome back. A lot to talk about. 702-992-3207. Call us. We actually came up with another thing during break that, again, is worth discussing.
I already forgot it. What the hell was we talking?
If, hey, Garth, good to see you, buddy. Give us a call, 702-992-3207. But one of the buyers that's been rumored is, of course, Saudi Arabia. And whether they buy it or not,
There he is.
there he is. That's Saudi Arabia making their bid offer right now.
We're going to get his opinion.
All right, let's see. So anyway, so the question was, if Saudi Arabia does buy it, we know guys like Sami Zayn,
All right.
he'd have a problem. But what about all the ladies? That's a great point. We'll talk about that in a second.
Bree Picker's going to come up with a lot of opponents.
That's right. All right, with that, our next caller on the line is Mr. Garth from Finley Mazda. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's nice to see you guys finally paid your phone bill.
Yeah, well, you know, we have to take things in baby steps. So what's going on, dude?
Nothing, man. Just enjoying some beautiful weather for a change.
Hey, Garth, are you working today?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I got a question. Got a question for you, sir.
Yes,
In a couple weeks, if we give you enough notice, is there a possibility you could come in and do the show with us on a Saturday morning?
Every other Saturday. A lot of feedback on the phone. Oh.
We're working on it, brother.
The full movement hasn't gone through yet, so.
Every other Saturday, I don't have to be in till noon. So, for instance, next Saturday, I can come in next Saturday. Then otherwise, it'd be every other Saturday.
All right, we'll talk about the dates. We have something brewing that we need some extra coverage, so not a worry. Anyway, so give us your thoughts on any of the topics we're talking about, or something that you'd like to throw at us.
I literally just tuned in, so I don't know what topics you guys are on, but I do like the belt. I will say that it looks good sitting in front of Chief.
Thank you very much. The topic we were talking about where would WrestleMania ever go overseas, where it would be, big enough stadiums. But then during our break, Chief brought up a great point. We know rumor mill has Saudi Arabia being interested in possibly being one of the buyers of WWE at some point.
Right.
What would that mean for the women in WWE if Saudi Arabia does purchase it, and guys like Sami Zayn, who's against Saudi Arabia and their policies? What would that do for the ladies? Let's focus on that one.
I personally, I think if McMahon wants to hold Yeller something that he spent all these years building, then he should sell it to Saudi Arabia, because I think it would absolutely kill the brand with a lot of its fan base, and myself included. It's an American-grown product. We need to keep it here. I don't believe in a lot of the stuff they do over there. I think the women should be able to compete however they want to compete, and guys like Sami Zayn. So I don't watch any of the stuff when they put it on over there. I just don't want to support it in any way. So it'd be really hard for me to spend another dollar with anything that has to do with WWE if they went ahead and did that sale.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there are many other WWE fans that would probably feel the way Garth does.
I just can't imagine a woman wrestler having to wear a head garb in the wrestling ring. Okay, I can't fathom it. I can't see it. I agree with you, Garth, 100%. Raw.
I mean, they thought it was groundbreaking to even let the women participate.
Right.
Changing up the ring gear and all that. I mean, that, to them, that was like cutting edge. Like they just put somebody on the moon. And I think it's ridiculous. You know, as a girl dad, I think until they allow their girls to flourish and achieve the things that they want their men to achieve, I don't think we need to give them anything.
I think that's a fair point. Ronald agrees. Alfonso, thank you, Fonzie. He shares WWE is in Dubai and Shanghai, but they're in there. But we're talking about if Saudi Arabia owns the company, Fonzie, what that would do to WWE. Garth, we're going to let you go, my friend. Thank you so much for calling in. That's 2 for 2 for callers today, guys.
Love you, brother.
We actually got him to call.
Love you guys. You guys be safe, and I'll see you down the road.
By the way, real quickly, thank you for your participation last weekend at Power Play Sports Card Collectibles Toy Show. We appreciate that.
Man, it's always my pleasure and honor to hang out with you guys.
All right, brother. We'll see you.
Love you, man.
Thanks for calling.
Love you guys. Bye.
Talk to you soon.
Obviously, his view, I mean, now becomes a personal view as well.
Yeah.
Would we as fans support the home product if it's owned in Saudi Arabia at that point?
I got a buyer for WWE, the New York Yankees.
I'd be all over that. Not that they
Why not?
$9 billion though. That would probably hamper the payroll.
How about the Chicago Tribune?
They got rid of the Cubs.
So
Plus, how many people read the paper? Is that what their subscription?
the paper's on here.
No, I know that's what I'm saying, but you don't sell papers anymore.
Yeah, but you got to buy the.
No, they do have
You
advertisements.
got to buy the prescription. I mean, the subscription.
You need a prescription.
Watch your belt, man.
Take two articles and call me in the morning. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. Anyway,
I did that on purpose.
But you know what? But who's got obviously at $9 billion? You have to talk about a conglomerate of owners, right? I mean, you're not talking, one guy's not going to write a check for $9 billion.
How about this? How about The Rock, Taker, Stone Cold, Cena? Who else?
We ain't nowhere near $9 billion yet.
I kick in $6.
Just
well, but
I got 5.
But you could do it on a payment plan.
Yeah, most of these probably are going to be that way, but I would say more than likely it's probably would be an investment group of some sort.
Well, I gave you 4 names.
No, but I'm saying an actual group LLC that's been formed. You know, like Thoughts Count Anywhere LLC is the owner of the company, but then you put in place guys like you mentioned within the structure of the company,
right?
That would then be responsible for certain. We even didn't mention Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, what he's doing with NXT.
True.
I mean,
how about I didn't even mention Triple H.
Right. So it's all great conjecture, but you've got to look at people or companies, the Disneys, the Amazons. I think Disney pulled out, didn't they? Didn't they say that they're not interested?
Yeah.
So I don't remember who the other entity was, but the last article I read is that there were 2 entities. One was Saudi Arabia, and I don't recall who the other one was, that quote unquote have interest in owning and buying WWE at some point. So we'll see how that shakes out. I think we're still a long way.
If Saudi buys it,
if Saudi buys it, I'll become a full AEW fan.
I'm going on my rant, my protests again. I'm pulling my shirt out and everything.
That'll be a 2-hour rant.
Doing F you shirt.
Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna pull that shit out again.
All right, let's get back to it, fellas. Let's go over a couple of quick things in the AEW report. ROH films their first show for Honor Club, so it looks like ROH now is going to start getting busy again, right?
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston left AEW, right, the other night.
He left.
But now he's working and wants to go to ROH.
ROH, sure.
Last time I looked, the same guy owns both companies.
Yeah.
Right? So what is he going to get different in ROH that was bothering him in AEW?
Just new look, different roster, new opponents.
The roster.
Okay. All right. That's
That
fair.
long-term storytelling played out like Impact on Sunday.
Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense. Jake the Snake reveals his backstage role is to work with talent on their character and pro modes.
Not
It's missing two M.
Huh? I put
Looking for
the
his
cheaters
phone.
on.
What's the last bullet where it just says with? You obviously had something in mind there.
Oh, I don't know.
That's all right. Don't worry. I got your back. You know what, Jake? Hey, Jake, who better for character development than Jake?
I watched the bios, the first bio
Yeah.
that's now back out for that. And we've heard the story. He's done that story in the past, but this was a 2-hour. I thought it was a tremendous piece. Did you guys see it?
I did.
It's very powerful
Yes.
watching that 2-hour episode of his biography. I don't want to spoil for anybody that hasn't seen it, but boy, it went a lot deeper in his life than I think the 1-hour episode did not too long ago. I thought it was a great piece.
You know,
It's a double in-depth.
if you want to see some of Jake's character, go back to early wrestling, Bill Watts organization,
Right.
and go back to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, the early years, 80, 81, 82, you'll really see Jake's character and his development.
Right.
Didn't have a snake at that time at all. Just his character development.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
And he went in raw. He went into wrestling, no training whatsoever. You talk about on-the-job training when he was in that ring, just really to show up his dad because he wanted to prove how much better he could be.
They showed like the Jake's doing like the character and promo work.
Right.
But with people in AEW not ever taking like veteran advice, I wonder if he's just talking to deaf ears and a brick wall at this point.
Or is he working one-on-one with certain people?
I would hope somebody's taking like some kind of advice because I've heard people say like, "Oh, you should do this." He goes, people backstage like, "I'm the world champion. I'm on TV. I know what I'm doing."
Let me ask you a question. Do you think MJF had character develop? Somebody helped him with his character.
Oh, for sure.
I wonder who. And I'm not, by no means am I saying it's Jake. I just wonder who.
I would say Regal before he left. I mean, he was working with Regal. I mean, he was a mentor of his. He came out and did that. True or not, I don't know. But I would think Regal had a big hand in the MJF
Imagine
character.
Cody, Tully, Aaron,
Yeah, got a lot of great
Tony
people.
at some point.
It's interesting that Jake is helping them with promos, or in theory, because watching that piece that was on, a lot of people had a lot to positively say about the way Jake delivered his promos and how he used voice inflection or didn't use voice inflection and how he would just hook people in with the promos. And everybody on that interview basically said he was the best they've ever seen really in doing promo work. So it's great if this is happening, which I hope it is, because it's only going to make you, the wrestlers who are not interested in listening, and the product even better if you can deliver better promos. All right.
And give us, the wrestling fan, even more tools.
And it's storytelling.
Exactly.
And that's what's missing. All right, last point before we go to the top of the hour break. Powerhouse Hobbs wins face of the Revolution ladder match on Dynamite and will now face the winner of Samoa Joe and Wardlow. Thoughts? Anything? Is this like we'll see what happens at the main match first?
It's going to be a hard-hitting match either way, but
Yeah.
I would imagine Samoa Joe's going to retain his title, possibly.
Chief?
I want to see Wardlow win it. Okay. And Joe keep the ROH title.
I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen, but I don't know.
then you put the belt on Wardlow, okay, and then Hobbs and Wardlow have the match. I think Hobbs deserves a belt too, in my opinion. Okay, I can't see him putting the belt on Wardlow. They've got to keep it on Joe. Hobbs beats Joe. then Wardlow comes back down the road sometime and they have a match. That's how I see it.
All right, there you have it. We're at the top of the hour. By the way, Ronald's comment is the best. Jake was the best because he didn't have to yell in his promos to get his point across. All right, hour number 1 in the books. Hour number 2 coming ahead. We got a lot more to talk about. We're going to make our Revolution predictions for tonight. WWE report and who knows, tomorrow, today, tomato.
I have to correct him every once in a while.
You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be back after John runs a few commercials so I can fix the belt so it doesn't fall off the table. We'll be right back.
Prescription.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
Hey, everybody. I am Aaron Phillips. You are?
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDB-TV. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Aloha.
What the hell?
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. There's a little delay there. Hour number 2 getting kicked off. Thank you for tuning in. 702-992-3207. Ron, what does Ronald say? Hold on. I have pen and paper ready to write down the predictions. All right, so he's our official record keeper for our predictions for Revolution tomorrow night. 702-992-3207 is our phone number. Call us, chat with us. YouTube, if you're watching, you can also send chats. We can grab your message there as well for us to see internally. But check us out. Talk to us. What you got going on? Yes, sir.
The question is, can Ronald read his own handwriting?
Well, I don't know. I've never seen a sample of Ronald's handwriting, so that's a great point.
I'm just asking.
That's a great point.
Just asking.
All right, let's get to it. Let's do the predictions. No, John is just finding stuff. That's okay.
Very well.
We're good. Let's do some predictions. What do you think? Predictions for Revolution tomorrow night gives us a chance to talk a little more. I'm going to go at the bottom and we're going to work our way up. No holds barred. Jungle Boy Jack Perry takes on Christian Cage. Gentlemen?
Jungle Boy's finally getting his revenge and he's going to be Christian.
Okay.
With a concerto.
Ooh.
Point.
That's right.
I'm going with Christian. I think Christian's too smart. He's been around too long. He's got too many tricks to the trade. Whether he gets the ref looking another way or does another low blow or whatever. I'm going with Christian.
Well, no holds barred also means anybody can interfere as well. So Luchasaurus is probably going to be hanging in the shadows somewhere, right?
You never know.
But I'm going to take Jungle Boy in this one as well. I think it's his time. Yes, he can. He can write much clearer than Thomas. He can read his own handwriting. According to Ron. All right, Chris Jericho taking on Ricky Starks. Is this just for bragging rights?
The Pebble is going to beat the Goat.
Oh, the Pebble's good. Is that his nickname?
That's what MJF called him. He goes, "You're like a great value rock. I'm just going to call you the Pebble."
I like it.
But Ricky Starks is going to beat Chris Jericho.
I agree with you on that one.
Okay.
I totally agree.
I'm going to make it a hat trick because it seems to be, as of late, Jericho seems to be wrestling in a position of helping to put people over, even more so. So I agree. I think I'll take Ricky Starks on that one as well. AEW Tag Team Championships, the Guns versus the Acclaim versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Didn't realize it was a fatal four-way for the tag titles. That's a lot of bodies. A lot of stuff can go on, which means the tag team champions don't actually have to be pinned to lose their belt.
Nope.
So thoughts on that? We'll start with Steve. I'll mix it up.
I'm taking Lethal and Jarrett. I think they've
for old time's sake,
they've been squirrely on TV lately.
Okay.
And who the hell knows, man?
Anything can happen.
Tony kind, you know. I just like Lethal and Jared.
Okay.
With what do you call that? With his guitar, the guitar shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how many guitars he's smashed over the years. Whoever's got that
Hundreds,
consignment.
hundreds,
He's probably
and
got a
hundreds.
tractor and trailer
I
full.
was going to say, the guitar company that put those together, they are probably retired by now. Pick.
I think by hook or by crook, the Guns are going to retain.
Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb because anything can happen here. I'm going to take Orange Cassidy and Danhausen just because. I mean, they've been pushing Danhausen a lot over the weeks, and Cassidy just came back. I think it's going to be Orange Cassidy and Danhausen in that match.
But Cassidy's got that other belt.
It's all right. How many? We've seen a lot
So
of
it's
races,
going to
right?
be a two-timer?
Could be a Cassidy two-timer.
Well, they did say on Dynamite that he does have room for more belts in that backpack.
There you go.
Him and Danhausen.
There you go.
Danhausen.
TNT Championship, Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. We were talking about that a few minutes ago. Samoa Joe and Wardlow.
Wardlow.
I've changed my mind a couple times in the last couple of minutes, but I think Wardlow's going to win the TNT Championship, and Samoa Joe's just going to go down to Ring of Honor.
So you're picking Wardlow?
Yes.
I'll take Wardlow also I like your reasoning because Samoa probably has to go back. They're going to have to rebuild ROH. And I think they need to get some big names. I think Samoa would be a great fit.
And
down
Claudio has a belt down there too, doesn't he?
He is the Ring of Honor World Champion, yes.
That's right. He's
So
a
there you
man.
go.
702-992-3207 is our number, 702-992-3207. Fonzie, I don't know if you're still listening to us, but hopefully Riley's out there. Shout out to my new protege, Mr. Riley.
Our kid's cool.
Oh, my gosh.
Riley, very educated young man. Keep getting good grades in school, my man.
Absolutely. Can't wait. They're going to come in studio one day and going to give Riley a crash course. Maybe we'll get him up here on the wrestling set. Absolutely.
On the set with us.
Trios Championships, the Elite versus House of Black. House of Black really has not done a thing since this trio started, 2 years ago maybe?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Is it time? I don't know. Thoughts?
They haven't done a thing until tomorrow night when they win the Trios tag team titles from the Elite.
There you go.
I think you're going to see the boys finally get a vacation. Okay. They're going up against somebody that's reputable in a trios. Okay. The only other one I could see that would have been in that match would have been the Lucha Brothers and their partner, and I can't think of his name off. The 3/4 is kicking in. Anyway.
Ralph Nader.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I think personally tomorrow night, House of Black. House of Black.
Malachi Black is probably like the biggest name that has never got like the push he deserves.
Agree. So what's your thought?
You know what? The Elite, they did the best of 7 series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've had their accolades, but they need to do something with Malachi, with Black. They have to. So I'm going to go with House of Black as well. It's time. It's time that from what he didn't do with WWE and thinking he'd have greener pastures in AEW. And a year ago, we all thought he was maybe leaving AEW to go back, especially when Zelina Vega was rehired. But I think they're going to put the belts on House of Black this go around as well. All right. Texas Death Match. Jon Moxley takes on Hangman Adam Page. What is a Texas Death Match for those who don't know? Like me.
Anything goes.
Is there a whole
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
What did they just say?
Chainsaws.
Is that what it is? Okay, thank you.
Like-
And Jason is a special referee.
Like Terry Funk did. Remember?
Absolutely.
Chainsaw Charlie.
Let me get your thoughts on this with Moxley.
With Terry Funk?
No,
Oh.
with Moxley.
I thought we was going old school fun.
Not yet. We will.
No,
I promise you.
dear God.
Because when I watched the matchup, when I watched the rival episode of Mankind and The Undertaker as well, there
Down
was
in the
Terry.
boiler room.
Well, the boiler room match, but there was Terry Funk in the cage after Mick
Oh, yeah.
came down the second time.
Oh, yeah.
But all this blood that Moxley's spilling. Now, his promo this past Wednesday night, people say was off the charts great. I have not seen it, but blood. In our days, in all of our days, prior to this stuff that Moxley's doing, blood I thought was used more as a shock and awe moment.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh my God, he's bleeding. He got the crit. it's almost second nature now that I think that's kind of losing a little luster when somebody is bleeding and what that means at that moment for that wrestler who's bleeding. Here it's becoming commonplace. Are we losing something with all this blood that Moxley's shedding as of late over the last couple of months, really?
Now you just turn on Dynamite and be like, I wonder how Moxley's going to bleed this week.
Right. And should that be why people are watching? No, they shouldn't be watching to see how he's going to bleed. I think the Crimson Mask is being way overutilized here.
Oh, for sure.
And for this kind of match, there's no question. We should have an over-under as to how quickly Moxley will start bleeding in this match.
45 seconds.
Is that the line? Over-under?
I don't think we said anything about that with the Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker match.
That was one match, though.
That was one match.
No,
John
but I
Moxley
agree
does
with
this
you.
every week.
Wait.
Okay.
Let me finish my thought, please.
Okay, sorry.
All right. The women bled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We saw it. It was extreme.
Right.
Okay. I'm not going to say Mox is an extreme. Okay. Knowing John, that's his character. It's been his character all his career. Okay. In GCW, in the fight thing.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it. The
XPW.
yeah, we saw it there. It's been with Mox ever since he started in Indiana. Okay, that's where John got his start with LA Knight and Sammy Callahan. Look at Sammy. You see Sammy. Sammy bleeds all the time. Mox is the same way. Is it getting extreme? I'm not going to say it's not. Okay, because enough is enough. I'm going to say Moxley and Hangman are both going to bleed Sunday.
Oh, for sure.
Okay?
I agree with that.
There is no doubt in my mind. And if you're not ready for it, fans,
look away.
Go take a potty break. All right. Moxley for the win.
Okay. Matt?
I think they're both going to bleed heavily, and it's going to be a crazy match, and Moxley's going to win.
I'm stuck on this one.
Don't get me wrong. I
No,
like
right,
Hangman too.
right.
Either one of these two, okay, in my opinion, either one of these two would be a better champion for the company than what they got right now.
Lies. All lies. MJF is the greatest.
I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna take Hangman Page on this one. I'm gonna take him number one because it gives me something to argue with YouTube. but seriously though, Page was away for a while, right? He was away for injury, right?
I'm not going to disagree
No,
with you.
this is one of those matches to be coin toss.
I totally agree. I like both of them.
But I could very easily see Hangman going over in this match,
Sure.
creating a continued feud between these two continuing because Hangman was away for a while, came back a couple of weeks ago.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to take Hangman Page on this one. AEW Women's Championship, triple threat, Jamie Hayter, Saraya, and Ruby Soho.
All right, so I'm going to go. Is this the time Ruby gets hurt?
I hope
now?
so because that's who I'm picking. Mark me down for Ruby.
Okay. Here's another one. All three of them could carry the belt for the company.
Saraya doesn't need a belt.
No, she doesn't.
Right.
I'm going to say Jamie Hayter retains.
Okay. Matt?
I'm going to...
I wish I had a
I really
three-sided
thought
coin for you.
I really thought it was going to come down to like Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker like turning on her for like being jealous that she had the belt, but I don't know if it's going to happen now or if it's like the long-term thing that's going to happen, but I want to see Ruby Soho win the belt. So I'm going to go Ruby Soho.
Okay.
And you know what, fellas? I don't disagree with you.
Think about that for a second. Let's say for a moment we have, what if Ruby Soho wins? For the sake of discussion, Hangman Page wins and House of Black wins. All those individuals, especially House of Black and Ruby, they've come over from WWE and really have not had the kind of push with belts and championships I think many people hoped for and expected for. But now you're talking about these names. They have an opportunity, I don't want to say to turn the wrestling world upside down, but certainly AEW a little bit upside down by having these names who maybe are finally due to get their push.
Some growth.
Absolutely. Totally.
And you know what? Again, I'm going to say any 3 of the women and any 2 of the men, I'm okay with all 5 of them.
Absolutely.
Whoever wins the belt.
Yeah, and that's a great point. It really isn't anybody on this list that we look at and say, we don't want that person to win.
Exactly.
So that's a great point that none of these names are like, bleh.
And you know, like
as Matt would say, bleh.
Like you said, Saraya doesn't need the belt.
Right.
I don't disagree with you there. However, why did she come back to AEW if she's not going to start wrestling to wrestle for a championship?
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I agree with that.
So-
Does she need
so-
it though at this
so
this
are you
event?
changing
No,
your
no,
thought?
I'm not. No, I think it's a great point. She doesn't need the belt. The other 2 kind of need it. Yes, she came back because she wants to be a champion. Does she need a championship belt this quickly since coming back? I'm sure that
Well, Charlotte Flair gets a belt that quickly. Why can't Saraya?
I'll leave that to you now.
You bitch
I'm throwing a
constantly
commercial.
that somebody needs to be.
I'm going to step off.
Yes. I got his ass. Yes. Finally, the chief has arisen.
Score one from Chief. Woo! His head turned so fast, I think he's got whiplash down there. He turns so fast. As soon as you said that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to step away as I know it's coming here.
But they have to be on TV every week to earn a championship match for at least 5 years, or it doesn't make sense. As an old school wrestler, when Bruno Sammartino wrestled the Plumbers every week in Madison Square Garden, they were there forever to be WWF champion.
Just anybody off the streets. Oh my God. Ronald just put in there, it's on. He's just, he also in Florida just sat back and waited. Woo!
We should have done
Take
that.
the rest of the month off. You're in good shape for the rest of the month.
We should have done that last week.
Wow. Well, nobody would have heard it last week, though. That's the thing with the bad audio. So, but you're good now. Take off the rest of the month. You guys.
Damn, I feel.
Wow. You're vindicated now, dude. Look at that. He's right. He's flexing and everything now.
Hey,
Holy cow.
Don't strain yourself.
That was pretty damn. You liked it, man, and you
good.
know that was good.
Oh my God. Duke is in the house.
Big
Duke. Did you see his new shirt yesterday? He was posing that new shirt.
Awesome.
Yeah. I already put in my request for an extra large. So you
Hey,
better tell.
hey, how's your ankles lately?
Uh-oh.
Do you need a kendo shot?
Duke, we got to get you in here in studio, and you can bring those shirts when you come in. So we'll talk offline.
I think you need a manager.
Yeah, he needs a team of managers.
I'm ready.
You can lead the kendo stick. Matt and I'll just kind of be in the back waving everybody as we go in. All right, last one before we go to our break of the second hour Iron Man match between MJF and Bryan Danielson. Is it going to go at 60-minute Iron Man or is it 30 minutes?
60.
It is a full 60, a Broadway as they call it, right?
Yeah.
This is a tough one, but I know in my mind, Bryan Danielson, Jesus Christ. Bryan Danielson, the GOAT. This kind of match is right up his alley. He's done this before. Does he need a belt? It goes back part of that to that conversation, but he's been through hell to get to this point to finally face MJF.
He has gone through hell to go through MJF, but MJF has only been a champion for a short time, and I still think he has like a long title reign in him, and I think he's gonna cheat like hell at the end of this thing to like win, but it's gonna come down to the final seconds and some kind of weird cheap shot or some kind of screwy finish that MJF is gonna win.
What was that? Were you
The ring. The ring.
John caught it.
The ring.
Yeah. At the end. That could be.
I'm gonna get my revenge. I'm gonna clip that shit out.
I have to say that MJF looked pretty good. I heard what the asshole said. I just let him rant on. Anyway,
folks, you can't make this shit up around here.
No. Anyway, MJF looked really good. You know, when Danielson made the comment about him losing his fiance or whatever. I mean,
Ooh, yeah.
he looked good with the act and everything. I think he's ready to go for the 60 minutes. I really think him and Danielson are training together, to be honest with you. Daniel's got him into shape. They're working the match out. What do I think happens? Stay tuned and we'll find out.
You got to make a prediction, though.
I think it can go either way. I believe that Brian's his just due is due again, and unfortunately I'm going with Danielson.
Matt,
I'm going MJF by hook or by crook. Well, like the last second thing is gonna happen where it's tied, and he usually uses a ring or some kind of extremely shady cheating thing to win. Or maybe he just shocks everybody and he just straight out beats Danielson and like
the referee.
beats him clean.
The referee, he pays the referee off.
I do see some screwy shit going on with the refs. So there's always
because
that
Danielson's been saying like, you don't deserve this, you can't beat me straight up. What if he just like no cheating, no nothing, just straight beats Danielson
in the middle of the ring?
You know what? If he did that, then I see a turn from a heel to a face.
But he's also like the biggest heel in wrestling, so he's gonna have to cheat to win.
He would he'd be walking that line like what Chief was just alluding to, like Stone Cold used to when he was a heel, but everybody accepted and cheered the heel in Austin. The thing is, has MJF wrestled a lot over the last couple of weeks since Daniel Bryan's been going through the gauntlet?
No.
So he hasn't wrestled on TV. Obviously, he's doing what he has to do to prepare, but yet Danielson's been wrestling every week. So will we see a cardio issue for MJF come up at some point? Even though he's in shape, I'm not taking anything away from that.
You mean is he going to blow
Is
up?
he going to blow up at some point? Because if he's not in ring with in-ring action,
Possibly.
Yet Brian's gone through, some of these heavy-duty matches, and he's come out. I think that's better training to actually keep wrestling and harden yourself up for the hard kicks and the punches and the knuckle or whatever's going to happen than just sitting idle for all these weeks. Idle as far as TV appearances, wrestling is concerned. I would love to see Daniel Bryanson win. I really would. But short title reign with MJF so far, the biggest heel in TV. I think it's going to be some sort of craziness at the end. It kills me to do this, but I'm going to take MJF to retain.
Well, first of all, MJF's opponent's name is Bryan Danielson.
Well, I get confused. It's got other quarter half-timers.
Bryan Danielson, I'll repeat it
again. Go.
I really think, and I'll take task with one comment.
Okay.
MJF may blow up, but Bryan can carry him along to get the match over.
I totally agree.
And that's what I think is going to happen.
MJF is not going to blow up.
Just
because he doesn't wrestle on Dynamite on a Wednesday night doesn't mean he's not training all
I
week.
didn't say anything about not training. There's training, but live match action is a little different.
True.
Mr. Danielson's had a few 60-minute matches in his career.
Yeah.
I don't
in like 10 years.
I don't think MJF's had one. Not one. So it's going to be a different experience for him. It's not going to be like, I'm going to use an old school adage. It's not going to be a Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat match.
Oh, no.
All right.
There's not going to be a ton of headlocks.
But I think MJF can perform. Is he going to be able to perform at the highest level throughout the whole match? I don't think so. I think Brian's going to have to carry him. But I think it's going to be a hell of a match.
Ronald just sent me a snapshot of him jotting down our predictions through chat. And
can you read it?
Yes, I can actually. And he even wrote the phone number to the call-in studio. So Ronald, I'm going to ask you to take this picture, post it on the TCA page, please. Show everybody our predictions. That would be a great piece to have up there as well. See, he's just sent it so we can actually see to read it.
Now, the interesting part's going to be, though, fellas, We talk about Vince McMahon having his thumb on matches.
Yep.
How much is Tony Khan going to have thumbs on those matches?
Interesting to
All of
find
it.
out.
He's like the
He's
head
the head-
creative.
I was going to say, he's the head booker, right?
You know, I would hope that for the majority of these matches, I would hope that he listens to his wrestlers and let the wrestlers determine the outcomes of the matches. I hope.
I'm pretty sure they can give their insight on matches, but as far as like winners and losers, that's straight up to him because it's his storyline.
All right. With that, we're going to step aside. One quick note on MJF as we get ready to go to break. That if you like the show Impractical Jokers, MJF is appearing on the show this week. So
I can't wait for
check that out. Check your local TV listings. All right. With that, we're going to step aside for Impractical Jokers.
Oh, okay.
With that, we're going to step aside for a break of the second hour so that Red Chief can rest after making his year-long point against Matt earlier in this segment. You're
I
watching
didn't make
TCA. We'll be
nothing
right back.
against him. I just made.
Hi, everybody. Aaron Phillips here, inviting you to join me every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. right here on Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV on my show, Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. I bring to you the movers and shakers of Las Vegas and really all around the world. It's also fun, entertaining, silly, goofy, informative, everything you'd want to be entertained by on a Saturday, except no politics, no religion. As I said, it's designed to be a fun show. Remember, that's every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, right here, Aaron's Hour, Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV. Hey, welcome back. God, these quick count commercials are going to kill us.
Yes, we were.
I think said a minute, like
No, I know, but I don't know if you were commercial, two commercials. He's showing us something over here on his computer. We were just being entertained by something the way
another commercial coming up.
okay, that MJF does during the TV breaks. And let's just say we decided to end it real quickly as we were coming back. All right. Still to come, birthdays will be coming up soon. We have 2 weeks worth of birthdays. Last week's list and of course this week's list we're going to cover. Let's get into some of the WWE report stuff. What do you say we go there? First and foremost, all of us here want to send out a big congratulations to Solo for getting married this past week.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, right.
Congratulations.
I wonder if he wrapped his thumb and it was dressed in a tuxedo for the thumb drive. Like Santino would have the sock somewhere, right? That's what I was thinking about. So, anything?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was talking to a gentleman who remained nameless.
Okay.
Anyway,
Rikishi.
He told me that Mama was out with the grandkids, and I said, "So how do you handle it?" He said, "I just give her the credit card." I said, "Oh, you do like I do with Liz. You just give her the credit card and say
I thought Liz gives you the credit card.
Say have a good time."
Right.
And he says, "Yep." So I was talking to him, and he let me know. And you know what? Hey, that's one of my boys there.
Absolutely.
And I'm so happy for him and his beautiful bride.
And Solo came through the local ranks as well.
Right. Started at Knox over in Cali with his daddy, and then came over to FSW.
That's right.
Rikishi kicked his ass out. Said,
go.
Get to going, boy.
There you go.
And the youngest one, did you see the youngest one?
Oh, there?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I was talking with him.
6'2".
Plays football for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Doesn't want wrestling.
Nope, not at all. Had no,
But
not
a young gentleman, God bless him. I mean,
middle linebacker.
huge.
And huge.
6'4", would you say?
Yeah, he's bigger than any
Yeah,
of them. He's bigger than all. And I asked him, I says, you have fun with your brothers? He says, I hold my own. But he said,
does.
the one that scares me is my sisters. He said, they tough as nails.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Coming in the lineage. All right, some other news and notes real quickly. Sonya Deville gets arrested in New Jersey this past week for having a gun in her car. It is a registered gun. Let's be clear about that. The problem is New Jersey does not reciprocate with concealed weapon licenses or certifications. So unfortunately, she got pulled over for that. Although from what I read, her attorneys are trying to quickly try to get that thrown out.
She didn't get pulled over. She got arrested by a snitch.
Which one?
She
went and
she got squashed.
She parked at a place and the valet guy called the cops and saw the
Oh,
gun
I
in
did.
the
Okay,
car.
that part I missed. But either way, it was a registered
Somebody
gun.
go throw that dude in the turnpike. or
Exactly.
something.
Maybe he realized too. No one would have knowing how many other bodies are along the turnpike.
I talked to my cousin. I called my cousin up, who is a New Jersey State Trooper.
Okay.
And
those wonderful gray uniforms.
Ralph told me that
Ralph Nader?
Hush. You go back to Jersey, I'll have your ass thrown in jail. So shut up. Anyway,
they're gonna make up something like they always do.
What Ralph told me was, being that the gun was registered,
right,
and even though the valet guy found it, it's going to get thrown out. Okay, but they had to go through the motions.
Sure.
Okay, it's going to get thrown out. Right. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to say this as a not up here as part of the show. I'm going to say this as a person in community. Do you leave a gun anywhere that somebody can get it? You're supposed to lock them up. Okay. She could have taken it out of her glove box and either A, put it somewhere in a case, a carrying case like I've got for mine that locks up, and you can put it in the trunk of your car and ain't nobody getting into it. Or B, do you just be a dumb shit? Well, folks, in my opinion, B stands out this time. She was a dumb shit.
If she were to keep it in her glove box, good old days, you used to be able to lock glove boxes.
Hell, you could put a shotgun back on the rack behind you in your truck.
Right. The problem is, though, is talking about her situation.
Society today is crazy. I'm sorry.
That weapon.
My apologies.
That weapon should have been locked up before she crossed the lines into New Jersey by law. Because and I shared this because when I went and took my concealed class, the gentleman who taught it was a former New York detective, and he was telling us a story that he was driving cross country back to New York from here. And every state that does not reciprocate before he crossed the line, he had a safe in his trunk, locked it up before he even crossed the lines. And when he crossed to the next line that allowed the reciprocate, he stopped, pulled the gun out, and kept it on his person. So that gun should have never been out of a locked vessel before she got into New Jersey.
She should have just done the very common sense thing. If you're on the freeway and you see a sign that says New Jersey next exit, you turn the fuck around. Nobody goes there purposely.
Well, let me go. See,
I have family there.
See, let me say two things. Let me say two things.
Okay.
Number one, she either had to be coming from Maryland, Pennsylvania, or New York into Jersey, one of the three states.
Sure.
All right. That's the only way.
Right.
Number two, people that never get out of Nevada, maybe except to go to California.
It's Nevada.
They have no idea what Jersey's like, so they can talk's cheap. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
Talk is cheap. But in reality, you lock it up.
Absolutely.
You lock it up. And you, I want to ask you honestly, you carrying taser, whatever, handcuffs, whatever.
Yeah.
She should have done the right thing.
She should have locked it up, but with her her past of stalkers and stuff, I don't know if I would because they say you should lock it up and keep they say you should lock it up and keep the ammunition somewhere else. But I've never really agreed with that one because if something happens, you're not gonna run to the front of your car, grab the gun.
Wait a second,
Hold
I
on
need
a
to get my
second. Let me
ammo.
go load this thing in the trunk real quick.
Exactly.
Let me throw this at you. The way that they can build cars and build things to put on cars, okay, to me, and you brought up stalkers. Totally agree with you. She could have built a thing. They could build something that could go right between the seats. Okay, weld that son of a bitch in so it ain't coming out. All right. She can put the gun right in there, lock it up. It's right next to her.
But if it's just her and like her girlfriend, if there's no kids in the car ever in that car,
That's
there's really no point of locking it up either.
No, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
Like if there's kids in the car, then yes, lock it up. But if there's no kids in the car,
But what I'm saying is when she was coming into Jersey, if she's got it right next to her, she could put it right in there, lock it up. Don't put it in your glove box where somebody can find it. That's what
Was
I'm
it
saying.
found in the glove box or was it on the seat?
I don't know. It just said the valet driver saw it and called the cops.
Okay,
Just
well,
remember, snitches get stitches.
So let me ask you, well, what gave him the right to go into the glove box in the first place?
Who the hell knows?
Does this guy go into everybody's glove box in the car? If so, I'd be looking at that employee, wondering if he should be employed.
I don't disagree with
But
you.
what reason? You know what I'm saying? So what reason did he have to look in the glove box at all?
But do we know it was in the glove box?
I'm gonna look.
That's
it up
what.
right now.
That's what Chief.
Here's
But-
my point.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but I've got my pistol.
Mhm.
All right. When I carry it, I carry it.
Mm-hmm.
When I don't carry it, it's locked up.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple.
Right.
It's not put anywhere in my vehicle to where somebody breaks in my car, they're going to get a gun. It
Thus,
ain't happening.
thus far, mine is locked up for home protection.
And I get that.
So no. So here's the thing: you can go anybody who has a weapon that's licensed, properly licensed with concealed carry. There's a website out there you can look up on Google that'll show you the map in the states that allow that reciprocate with your home state.
Yes.
As to where you can and can't carry openly. Period. It's 38, I believe, states that reciprocate with the state of Nevada.
Yes.
So you have plenty of states. Nevada. You say potato. That reciprocate with us that it doesn't matter, but you still have to be aware if you're driving, whatever. You have to be aware of where you can carry and not face any other additional issues.
It's
for open carry.
It's called common sense.
Oh, I knew there was something missing.
That's what it's called.
All right. He's going to verify where and how the gun was found, Matt Hill, as we continue going on here. Real quickly, go ahead.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It says patrol units were called to the Borgata Hotel and Casino for
It's in Atlantic City. Yep.
Nobody
Damn,
cares.
that was
I have a friend that used to work there, but that is Atlantic
It's
City.
called the armpit of America.
Atlantic City is the armpit of America. It used to be one of the
What's the
greatest
place?
places to
Yeah.
go down to the
Keyword
steel
used to.
down to the steel pier.
That's right.
You used to see the horse dive into the water. Great time growing up there, folks.
It says, right at the Borgata Casino for a report of a valet employee discovering a handgun in a vehicle that had been valet parked. Responding officers arrived to find the owner of the vehicle, Daria, on scene, cooperating with security. She had a permit that was out of state, but they had no choice to put her into custody. She was given a summons to appear in court and was released.
So it doesn't say how the gun was found.
No.
Interesting. If it was in the glove box, I want to know what gave that valet person the right to go into the glove box in the first place. That
Exactly.
and I don't think she'd be silly enough to put the gun on the front seat. That I want to believe that was not the case.
No.
If it was in the glove box, what gave that guy or gal, whoever the valet person was, the right to even open the glove box for any reason?
Totally agree with
Which then makes you wonder what else this individual does with other cars the person parks. But anyway, that's for another day.
Good job, people of New Jersey.
I want to do a shout out. Shout out to Top Road Collectibles.
Yes, our guys down yonder.
Our friends, Will and Ben,
Yes.
down yonder, Florida and Kentucky. Shout out to you.
There you go. And to everybody down there, all the admins, Kev, and everybody, we appreciate you. All right, a couple of quick news and notes real quickly before we go into more conversation. I want to talk about Naomi is officially, I guess, no longer under WWE contract. She's appearing in California. Is that where that
WrestleCon.
WrestleCon. And she's using her legal name, Trinity Fatu. So interesting there. Bray Wyatt will be DLC in new video game. What's DLC? I was trying to
Downloadable content.
Oh, there you go.
He's like because he came back like after they like started making the game.
Oh,
so
so
they
you
make him. They made him like after the fact. So when the
Gotcha.
game comes out, he'll come out later.
Gotcha. All right.
Hey,
Sounds
did you
interesting.
see Uncle Howdy last night?
Yeah, he got his butt kicked
Yeah,
until the lights came up.
exactly.
Then he disappeared.
Smart boy.
He's like, and I'm done.
George Kittle from the 49ers, the tight end, is already thinking about his post-football career, as he said he would be open to work for WWE after retiring from the NFL. Many football players have had success transitioning into the ring.
Hell yeah, he's like a huge wrestling fan. He even does like wrestling, like he even does like the Pentagon thing. Like every time he gets like a first down, and what'd you say?
Who the hell cares about the 49ers? Let's talk professional wrestling.
But he wants to get into wrestling.
So,
George Kittle.
yeah.
He wants to be like the next. Didn't Ernie Ladd play football?
We're not
before
talking
going
about
in?
something irrelevant like the New York Jets.
That's a good one. I don't care about that. The Jets.
Oh.
The team that hasn't had a quarterback for like 4 years in a row now.
Hey, did you see Carr might be trying out for the Jets?
I did.
Yeah.
Listen, the Jets should sign him.
You asked me if Ernie Ladd. Yes,
Ernie Ladd was football, right?
Yes.
Goldberg was football.
I'll give you another one.
Baron Corbin was football.
Wahoo McDaniel.
Brock Lesnar, Wahoo McDaniel.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Well, Roman didn't play pro ball, though.
Yeah, he did.
Who did he play pro ball for?
Vikings.
For in the NFL?
Yeah.
For how many years? 1 or 2 years? It wasn't long, right?
No.
I'm talking about these guys.
Sure.
Short career, but I'm talking about guys that were established in football for a while.
Goldberg.
I said Goldberg.
Yeah.
But he didn't. But anyway, so I think Kittle's comment is interesting, but if I were the 49ers, fuck, man, stay targeted with football for right now. Don't worry about post-career.
Him and Travis Kelce are probably like the two best tight ends in all of football.
Absolutely. And I enjoyed watching Kittle during the playoffs when he was playing with the camera, and I love that stuff.
That dude's got such a personality that he would be
Absolutely.
like great in wrestling.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Did you see where rumor is or talk is McAfee's not coming back?
Yeah, I heard that was a possibility too.
WWE.
He better.
Yeah, I read that after the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It came out that he, with his busy schedule now, he may not be coming back to SmackDown.
Yeah.
As we had all hoped.
Which stinks.
Other than maybe he'll make special appearances like at WrestleMania or things like that. But
Yeah.
it'll be a shame if he doesn't come back to commentary. Congratulations. Go ahead.
Totally agree with that.
Oh, he's bringing such an energy that and listen, Michael Cole, those guys at the start of Elimination Chamber, they did not know McAfee was coming out. They kept it from Cole and Graves, and Michael Cole was legitimately excited to see him and hear his music and have him come down to the table.
Did you hear who might take his place?
No.
Johnny Knoxville.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I'm hosting the show alone next week,
Hey, that's two this week. Two.
we'll give you credit for April on that
Two,
one.
brother.
Lita and Becky, congratulations. They won the Women's Tag Team Championship on Raw, more than likely leading to something else. But Lita and Becky are now your current WWE Women's Tag title holders.
You know, I have to say, I watched that match. It was a great match.
Mhm.
But I'll tell you what, Lita's lost a step.
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
But still, when she did her flip off the top rope, it still looked good.
Well,
And the thong looks good too.
speculation going into WrestleMania, what could happen if everybody was I think the plan now on the drawing board, from what I've read, is Baszler and Ronda to go against these two for the title.
Yeah.
Stratus's name, though, she made the appearance this past week as well. Is she going to play a role? Is it where's Damage Control? You know, Becky's group.
Have to wait and see.
Be interesting. There's an interesting mix of what can happen now with the women's tag team division.
Let's put it this way: if it does play out, who would be a third for Ronda and Sasha?
Ronda and Sasha.
Or Ronda and
Shayna.
Shayna Baszler?
I'm sorry.
I got to take one of your credits away now.
Ronda and Shayna.
Bring back Jessamine Duke.
Who?
Jessamine Duke.
Be interesting.
One of the other 4 horsewomen of MMA.
Yeah.
That was with WWE.
I mean that's my thought.
Since Marina's in AEW.
If Trish starts wrestling again,
right,
and they become a faction of 3,
yep.
well, who's going to come in with?
Absolutely, you got to even it up somewhere.
Thank you.
Unless Ronda and
I'll
Shayna
take
believe
it back again.
unless Shayna and Ronda believe that they're bad enough as MMA fighters that they don't need a third partner. Who knows? Thoughts on Roman and Cody's face-to-face on SmackDown yesterday? Did you guys see it? Because you guys didn't see it, we can move on.
I did. That was good.
Was it? They said it was very good.
It was.
Okay.
It was old school.
Because Roman was
There
like,
was
I
no
wasn't
fisticuffs.
Right. Just talk. Yeah.
Roman was like, not only was I groomed to do this at a young age, I was also groomed by your father.
I think it continued.
It's
That,
like, ooh.
they continued that what Heyman said a couple of weeks ago. So I think it's going to set fire to it. We're just going to see. I think Sami Zayn's storyline is still out there.
I think Paul Heyman's writing the storyline. If you
I can
want to
see
know
that.
the truth.
Or at least the promos anyway.
I think we're still getting the Usos versus Kevin and Sammy at WrestleMania.
I think so.
It's
too.
got to be leading to that.
But they better hurry up. They only got a couple of weeks left to really build it that way.
Last night would have been the perfect spot for Kevin to come in to help Sammy.
Yeah.
When Jimmy jumped in the ring.
True.
And folks, if you haven't seen it yet, I apologize. But you know, I really believe Kevin's not going to help him. I think it's going to be Jay. I think it's going to be Jay and Sammy.
That would be an interesting twist and swerve to it. Ronald says in response to our conversation just now about the ladies, there are 2 nights so they could do the tag titles one night and then a 6-woman tag match the next night.
True.
Do a title on one show and then a 6-person for
They
the
could
next
do
night.
like a 6
that.
woman tag match the first night and be like, if you beat us, you get a tag title match.
There you go.
I
the
like
next
that.
night.
I like that too.
John Cena is going to be returning to Raw Monday night, and we've all presumed pretty much to start setting the stage with Theory, because there was conversation maybe Cena and Logan Paul, but then that seems to be going to Seth and Logan. And they teased Theory and Cena last summer, right? So
Yeah.
it would only make sense.
I didn't watch Raw. Was Theory on this week?
Yeah.
Did he show? Okay.
Didn't they have a tournament or something this past day No, they had the number 1 contender match previously, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because they don't have a number 1 contender right now. Who's the number 1 contender for him right now? Because the Elimination Chamber was
almost.
That was just for the title. That wasn't for number 1 contender.
No. I know that was for the title. So I'm just trying to think who's the number 1 contender for the U.S. title. So
I don't think there is one right now.
maybe that's what they're
Just
going to
because
build
of
to
the
with Cena.
Cena thing.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're going to build to.
Cena and
Theory. WrestleMania for the U.S.
Yeah,
title, which
that-
obviously Theory would
I mean,
go over at that
well,
point.
we said that.
Yeah.
Said that all along. That's
There's discussion in WWE
Go ahead.
whether there's one more match for Goldberg or not. Apparently, there's a discrepancy in whether he's owed one more match or not.
you know
Does it
what?
really matter? Who wants to see him in the ring anymore at this point?
I don't.
No.
He was always one of my favorites, but the amount like he's gone down and
Oh yeah.
with some of the moves, like especially the Undertaker match, I was like, I don't want to he's gonna ruin his legacy at this point.
Absolutely, he's going to give himself a concussion.
Everyone's
before
gonna
going out to
remember
the
like his last match of botching something over any good thing he did.
He's only good for about a 2-minute match right now.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get hurt,
Yes.
like
Badly.
like we saw last week.
Yeah.
Real quickly, before we go to birthdays, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely terrific, 1 being screw it, where's Triple H in your mind regarding running creative at this point? And that's for anybody that you're watching. Put it in the chat room if you'd like and give us your thoughts on that. 1 to 10.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I did not, and you guys know it when I wear my shirt, I did not watch WWE for a long time, a long time, because of creative. I still think that it's worth watching. And as long as Vince stays out of it and Triple H, or as long as Hunter's running it up at the main stage and Sean's running it down at NXT,
right?
With Regal back now, you're going to have a great product.
So scale of 1 to 10 for Triple H's creative on Mondays and Fridays.
I'll give him a 8.
Okay. Matt?
I'd give him like a 9 just because there's a lot of good stuff, and there's also been a couple
botches.
What the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
They're like, why is this going on?
I hear you.
But for the most part, it's all been like a lot better than it has been like the last 10 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely has. Ronald says 9.5 on Triple H. Okay, that's pretty high.
We don't do 0.5s.
Well, I said 1 to 10. Its points are good.
Well, no, hell no, there ain't no points in there. It's 9 or 10, which is.
Oh, in that case, Triple H did a 9.25381.
The Russian judge gives him a
3.1415.
3.141. Okay. I think it's been very good. I think there have been some Raws, though, the last couple of weeks because you're in between Elimination Chamber. Like it seemed like this past Raw, or maybe it was the week before, the matches and things that went on seemed to do a better build towards SmackDown storylines because of who was on Raw. Really didn't further any Raw storylines. That could have been by design to push some of the SmackDown stuff, but I would give it a solid 8-9. I would give it a solid 8. I don't want to say 9 or 10 because there's always room to do stuff better.
Yeah,
but I think it's been a very strong 8 for sure. I don't think there's any question about that.
I think all the shows, and I'll put it this way, I think all the shows that are on TV, you know, whether it's WWE, whether it's AEW, they've all been good shows,
right?
And I think right now WWE is building storylines,
and that's
to
the way it
lead
should
up
be.
to WrestleMania.
Absolutely. Ronald then backed his number down to a 9.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we're gonna get
birthday
ready to
to
roll into some birthdays. We got 2 weeks of birthdays coming at you, so that we make sure we make up for last week. So with that, let's start the song. Let's get going. If you were celebrating a birthday from February 25th through March 2nd or 3rd, technically, that was Friday. You are celebrating with these people. February 25th, Sean O'Hare, DJ Gabriel, Maria Kanellis, and the great Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Woo! I was hopeful you were doing that. February 26th, James Mitchell, Pentagon Jr., and Reed Flair. February 27th, Lance Rock. February 28th, that is a long list in February. Holy cow. Ricky Steamboat, Norman Smiley, who, by the way, I guess he's still training down at the Performance Center. Please don't hurt yourself. Don't throw your back out. I do. Is he still down in the Performance Center?
He's one of the lead trainers.
Perfect. I'm so happy for him to get that. Masato Tanaka, Lance Hoyt, The Missing Link, Aaron Aguilera. Who's Aaron Aguilera?
I thought you were about to say something else. I was like, what?
Dewey Robertson.
No, March 1st, General Adnan, Mike Tenay,
You're really about to get one play.
Booker T, Scotty Riggs, Big E. I hope to see him on TV soon doing something. Emma, Kyle O'Reilly, Davey Richards. March 2nd was Deborah, Lance Gabe, Mike Von Erich, Miss Jones. But I'm going to go back to the 27th because he didn't put it on there. Garth would be very unhappy. Garth Wall celebrating a birthday on the 27th. Oh, goodness, March 3rd. Justin Gabriel Hansen, March 4th, which is today, is duplicated on this page. So, celebrating birthday today through next week on the 10th, Sarita, Dalton Castle. It's funny you brought up Danny Davis's picture earlier when we were talking about referees because he's celebrating a birthday today.
Today.
Crowbar, March 5th. I'm going to say this very carefully so that Matt doesn't throw up all over the place. Jordan Grace. There you go.
I saw her in person. I'm still trying to mentally recover.
I have a picture of them when they were in last year with her, and Moose on the other side.
That's gross.
Martin Casillas is there. March 6th, Val Venus. Mr. Kennedy. Celebrating on the 6th, as well as Chad Dick. March 7th, Bruce, I was hoping to just fly by that with nothing. Bruce Pritchard, Major Guns. Chip, what are you looking for? You were looking for the Great White Light? Oh, the mic drop.
The mic drop.
Chase Owens, Tyler
Chase
Bates.
the light. Chill.
Rude, is that Rude DeBona? Rude?
Yeah, Rude DeBona.
All right, who's that? I have no idea.
I don't know.
I bet you they were called Rude the Boner the whole time.
I verify it's truth. That's
March 8th. Chad Gable, which I hope we have time to bring it up before we end about Chad Gable. Michael Tarver, March 9th, Melina, Rick Steiner, Tiger Ali Singh, Nikita Koloff, and the 10th, Luchasaurus, JoJo, Judas Devlin. Who's this one? Pierroth?
Pierroth.
Pierroth? Pierroth. I've never heard of Pierroth.
Who wrote this list so I know who's in trouble?
You never heard of Pierroth?
No, honest to God. Happy birthday to all of you. Who is it? Honestly, I don't know.
Lucha. Down.
Well, that's why I don't follow a lot of Lucha. I'm sorry.
Well, he's one of the.
So you have a gripe with the list?
One of the main ones.
Yeah, you guys forgot a big name.
He's one of the big ones.
All right, well.
No, there's a bigger name than that you forgot on this
What
list.
day?
He's talking to you.
Oh, he asked who wrote the list. He asked who wrote the birthday list.
I gave you the list.
But who wrote it?
You're
Who
in
wrote
charge of it.
Who wrote it? That's what he said.
Once I have the pad and it's on
Any
my,
other time we
you're
get
in
a report,
charge.
you write the list. God, what you got? Who do
You
we
guys
miss?
forgot like a big name.
Go for it.
Like
Who?
a huge name.
Okay.
One of the co-founders of this show, the owner of Power Play
Mr.
Sports
Scott
and
Hosey.
Collectibles. Scott Hosey's birthday is Wednesday.
I
What's up,
March
coming
8th.
Wednesday?
I purposely did
Bullshit,
it.
you were looking on this freaking screen.
By the way, he's
I can't even see that.
That's
damn
true, he can't.
That
He's been
damn
squinting.
thing's so small.
Careful.
Holy shit.
He's been squinting at his own screen
I
over here. so.
have.
Well, happy birthday, Scott. Absolutely great. Who's that? Philip Campbell. Her birthday was on February 24th. Thank you, Philip, for sharing. Happy birthday. That's thank you so much for sharing.
Did you send it in? No.
Well, he just put it in the chat room. Want to remind everybody, though, if you have a birthday, an anniversary, an
Happy
event,
birthday,
something you
Phil.
want to share, please put it on our Thoughts Count Anywhere Facebook page. We can pick it up there. So this Matt doesn't have to yell at Chief anymore about the
I don't care.
Let's talk about Chad Gable for a second, since he's on the list. It's not on our show list, but there obviously something's going on with Otis and Maxine Dupree and the male models that they're thinking that this may be a way to get a big push for Chad Gable to finally go singles. Is he overdue? I think he's way overdue for a serious run as a singles competitor. I want to get your thoughts on that.
He definitely deserves like a good singles run.
And a serious
He probably
run.
took the best crossroads I've ever seen in my life on Monday. I thought he was like hurt, but damn.
Because ever since he wrestled with Jordan and had the tag titles, they've really done nothing serious with him at all. You know, everything with Corden, the mini Chad, you know, the small, whatever that was, and now with Otis, that could have been serious, but now they've made that a little bit of a laughable situation with the two of them.
They have the potential to make him like the next Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
easily.
If you look at Gable,
yeah,
you look at Angle, one and the same. Angle had a great run in WWE. If they do it the same way, Chad Gable can have a fantastic run in WWE. And that's how I look at it. He deserves a run.
The interesting thing, though, is muscularly, he's built the way Vince always liked his wrestlers, right? Carved out of marble. But doesn't have the height. He doesn't have that monster look that we know Vince has always liked. But thank goodness Triple H is doing this now, and I think it's well deserved, if that's the
He
direction.
can suplex the shit
Oh,
out
absolutely.
of people.
Absolutely.
Let me
You can
tell you.
German suplex somebody from the ground and lift them up. It doesn't matter if you're 5 foot tall or 10 foot tall at that point.
Absolutely.
That shit looks cool on television.
Well, those of us here in agreement, we hope that the conversation we're reading about, Chad does get that push for singles. It's well overdue.
And the whole Otis Maximum Models thing, that's why Triple H will never get a 10. Because stuff like that is stupid.
Yeah.
But it's entertaining.
But
it's
Otis did good with Mandy. That was a good.
But that was a love story, though.
That was pretty good, though.
That was Beauty and the Beast written all over it. But yes,
that was
absolutely.
every wrestling fan being like, "Oh my god, I have a chance."
Right, but is he now? But
and man, he enjoyed catching her.
Oh hell yeah, we all love that scene.
Yeah,
I never washed his hands, and that was like 3 years ago.
That's why he gets people don't want it. Don't pin me, please.
You know
oh,
what?
Mandy. Oh yeah, Mandy. Anyway,
I got it. I got.
but is he a model?
I've got to say this. I hope
the before model
WWE gets over what's up their ass and
Please bring Mandy back.
And bring Mandy back.
They'll have to say you'll have to kill your OnlyFans page, I bet, but she'll do that. Anyway, we have about a minute left. Real quickly, UFC 285. Matt, I'm going to turn to you on that one.
I don't know anything.
John
about
Jones returns to the octagon after 3 years. I see him becoming heavyweight champion tonight.
Okay. Is that here in Vegas?
Yeah, it's at T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
See, I forgot that one.
Which
on
one?
my
What?
list.
Which
when
one?
I was doing my list.
What?
On
All the
my
events
rant today.
Okay.
I
The
forgot-
events of USC.
I forgot UFC.
All right. Well, that just
Look at
shows
how
us
much
there's a lot going on. And last but not least, yesterday, breaking news from the entertainment world at the age of 61, Tom Sizemore passed away from the aneurysm that he suffered earlier in the week.
Yeah.
This was bad news coming from the moment he went in the hospital because they were
Yeah.
talking life support from the get-go. Went through his troubles, got over them, got him behind, Saving Private Ryan, some great movies, some great roles he's had over the years. And his name was coming up for another project that was coming soon. I don't remember what it was. So definitely a man that will be missed in Hollywood. And to the rest of the family, we send our thoughts and prayers and condolences to his family. So, all right. Did we miss anything? I don't think so. I hope not, because we're out of time according to the clock over there. So these couple items, perhaps if they're relevant next week, we'll add it to next week's sheet. But anyway, good stuff today, fellas. Thoughts?
Yeah, definitely
Yes?
great show.
Do we have to wind you up or something?
No.
Okay. So let
Rip them open.
I was just sitting here thinking.
Okay, so with that, you keep thinking. Matt, final thoughts for the day as we get ready to say goodbye.
Everybody have a good, safe week. Tell everybody you love them.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's never promised.
That's right.
Go to the Vegas Toy Con. Vegas Toy Con's today too.
I forgot
Sergeant
that.
Slaughter and a couple other people. Good people.
And that's downtown, right? So
It's at the Ahern Casino.
Oh, the
the
Ahern.
Red Dragon.
Yep, right off of Sahara and Las Vegas Boulevard, right
Yeah.
across from that wide open space where they do the open musicals.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Hey, everybody, be safe out there. If you have a gun, lock it up, please. Please. You know, we have enough tragedy in this world. And I mean this. I love you guys. I want to thank both of you for last week. Mr. John, I want to thank you for last week. I wasn't on the show that much, but
That's why ratings went up. No, they actually went
Why
down.
it was such a good show.
I was doing something else, and at the event, had a great time. You know, I really doing this, it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs, and folks, please don't take us being serious at each other, because we really do love each other, and I mean that.
Yeah, most of the time.
I mean that.
I will never admit to that on camera.
That's right.
I'm just joking. You guys are wrong.
No.
You can kiss my Royal American too. And if you don't know what that is, look it up in your fucking Wagnall.
That's
Everybody have a great
Did you
week.
say fuck it?
You take it any way you want to
Jeez,
take it.
Ronald's final comment before I bow out of here. It was a fantastic show because Thomas Burnett wasn't on. So
Facts.
take that for what it's worth. By the way, just a quick reminder, next week, I'm giving you a week's warning. Doesn't affect our show. It is change your clock weekend next week before you go to bed Saturday night. We spring ahead. We spring forward back, or I think we move ahead an hour. We lose an hour next weekend.
Bring ahead, fall
And
back.
and for somebody at Thomas's store, take its fried chicken, throw it down aisle 7, and
God.
No, don't throw it at aisle
Thank you,
7.
Philip
Throw it
Campbell.
at his head.
Thank you. Take a picture of it. Thank you, Philip, for your comments. We appreciate
I
it.
love
We appreciate
everybody
tuning
in
in.
the chat room.
Just want to remind everybody coming up at the top of the hour, Aaron's Hour with yours truly. I have two guests coming on. Deborah Richards, movie director. Her movie Move Me No Mountain just got onto Amazon Prime. Great story here based in Las Vegas of a real estate agent who lost her daughter and really then had to try to figure out how to rebuild her life. And then also coming in is going to be he's going to kind of be our guest co-host, David Montalvano, also known as Yakov. Great guy, does his own podcast. We'll talk about that coming up in 1 hour. As always, be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. Thank you for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll see you next week right here. Thank you for watching, everybody.